Chevrolet or the 65 Mustang, people stand in line to buy them.
Okay.
Detroit just doesn't get the message. They go to the car auctions and examine people's behavior, they'd find out what people really want.
Okay. Talk about the best way to buy a car, because I know this is a passion of yours, and you want your grandchildren to know this, right? So that they
There's a lot of things I'd like to tell my grandchildren. I have very, very little
tell them.
communication with them. Really.
This is your chance. Let's talk about it.
But,
What do you want them to know?
You know, people go to buy a car, they say, well, he gave me $2,000 off or 15% off. I don't buy a car that way. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Before I go into a meeting, I want to know the answers to the questions I'm going to ask in the meeting. And
Okay.
before I go in to buy a car, I want to go in with advanced knowledge of what I'm talking about and what the parameters of the discussion are going to be in advance. So I start out with what does it cost the dealer?
Okay.
Not how much off from the top, but how much up from the bottom.
Okay. Okay.
What does it cost the dealer? How much will the dealer charge me as a reasonable profit to him to either sell the car to me or order a car for me? If he's going to order a car, he doesn't have any flooring costs, any costs whatsoever except the paper it's written on, and to take care of the car detail-wise when it comes in. So I usually buy cars for $200 to $500 over the dealer cost, usually over the phone or with the typewriter.
Okay.
It's so easy to write them a letter, tell them, this is what I want to buy, this is what I'm willing to pay, and take it or leave it.
At the typewriter. Okay. So that's still an instrument you use today. I know in the office, right?
I still
It's
use
still there.
typewriters, yeah.
Okay.
The new secretaries don't know what they are.
Well, I do. I know we have one.
We give them a abacus instead of a calculator, you know. They don't know how to use that either.
Well, I know that yesterday was a big day for you, right? You bought something that you haven't bought in 30 years. That was a big purchase.
I'm not quite over the shock of that yet. I'm not sure that's going to fly, but
Okay. I'm sure that
I've,
was quite a big deal.
see, I don't have a lot of hobbies. I'm a kind of a boring person. You get me away from the stock market and bond markets and equities and economics of the world. It can be pretty boring because I don't play golf. I don't play tennis. I love classic cars, and I always enjoyed seeing every model car that comes out every year.
Mm-hmm.
And I can look at a fender of a car or a taillight even and tell you what make and year that car is in most cases.
Okay.
So, and what engine it has under the hood.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
just happen to like cars for whatever reasons. Everybody's got a hobby that's
Oh,
fine.
sure.
Music and cars are my hobbies, really. Those two items.
Okay. So yesterday you decided to invest.
Do you really want to talk about that? Well, I've been looking at motorhomes along with cars for about 30 years, and
30 years. See, that's a long time.
yes, and I've seriously considered buying when they're motorhome, when Class A motorhome, when they were $30,000 and when they were $50,000, and then we
Wow.
got better. So I
Yes,
had
they've
to
gone
wait
up.
till the price got nice and high first before I buy one. So I decided to try this out because of the tax structure in the economy for this particular year. Happens that a motorhome is classified as a truck, and that's tax deductible in total.
Oh, okay.
First $125,000 is tax deductible. So I'm going to get a government subsidy on this one. If I take
Okay.
that money down in salary, the government's going to take 45% of it away from me. So I bought a beautiful motorhome, 35-foot long,
Wow.
made by Winnebago Corporation. It's got everything from leveling jacks to electric awnings to, you name it, it'll sleep 7 people.
I've been listening to Joe tell me about it in the brochure. It looks stunning, and I'm
It's
sure that your
beautiful.
family will get plenty of use out
It's
of
as
it.
beautiful as any
Yeah.
$400,000 motorhome I've seen. It really is. It's got factory paint the same as the big $500,000 diesels have. It's just gorgeous. Electric awnings, like I said. It's got leveling jacks. It's got a rear camera on the back so you can see who's back of you. Shows up on the dashboard. It's got cameras on the side of the motorhome, on both sides, so you can see who's on
Yeah.
the side of you.
Yeah, Joe was saying they come on when the blinkers go on, the turn
Exactly.
signals, so that
Right.
you don't hit anybody, and
Right, exactly.
you know, that's
Right.
fantastic.
It's even got a ladder which I probably couldn't climb to go up on the top of the roof.
Well,
Why would
that's-
I wanna go up there?
Yeah. Don't worry about
Somebody
that.
else takes care of that because there's 2 air conditioners up on the roof.
We'll talk about what you want that used for.
I'm not quite sure yet. I just feel that this is the time,
Okay.
the opportunity, and rather than take down some money in salary and ship half of it to the government, I would buy something and drive it home and let them ship some money to me for a change.
Okay.
I'm kind of a strange person that way.
Okay, so let's see. What advice would you give to a high school student about to enter college? Is it a good idea? What kind of things do you need to look at for a college?
You never have too much education, so it's always a good idea.
Okay.
I think the important thing is that they know what path they want to go down, and there are certain broad paths, medical, legal, etc. Areas to strive toward.
Financial.
Yes, but the first 2 years of college, as you know, are basically liberal arts anyway, so it helps you find yourself as to what you want to do with the rest of your life.
Okay.
By the 3rd or 4th year, you should be specializing in something and having a degree in the chosen field.
Is there some value, do you think, to being close to home, or do you think kids would learn more living away from home, and not commuting, I guess, for example?
I think a lot of people feel that it's good to have the kids leave home and go out on their own and helps them mature. I don't necessarily agree with that because you see, I'm very financially oriented in every respect, and it's a lot better to live at home and
Save the money.
rather than a dormitory.
Okay.
And why rack up an extra $100,000 expense where you don't need to?
Okay.
So too many kids get out of college today with huge student loans to pay off.
Sure. And it takes forever to
Exactly.
pay those off. That's true. What do you believe people spend too much time doing?
Oh, they spend way too much time watching television,
Yeah.
to say the least. And I can't stand somebody sitting there watching game shows. I think that's the biggest waste of time in the world.
Really? Okay.
If you're watching a football game or something where there's some activity going on, that's fine. But watching Jeopardy or some of these game shows, what a waste of time. Most people would be better off if they read a book than turn the television set off.
Okay. Okay.
Because at the end of if you watch a movie for 2 hours, the end of the movie, what do you know that's better than when you started?
Depends on
I
the
would-
movie, I guess. Huh?
I could never stand and sit in front of a TV for a long time without thinking there must be something I should be doing could be more constructive. I could learn something, or I could do this or do that. A lot of my education came from reading 10K reports. That's boring as heck to most people. They don't know what a 10K report is. It's a report that a corporation puts out to the Securities Exchange Commission, SEC. They have to disclose everything. I mean, you even learn how much per square foot they're going to pay for industrial space in Dayton, Ohio.
Wow.
You learn about. This is what's so fascinating about this business that we're in. I'll be talking to Valero Energy in Houston, Texas, one time, and calling Mr. Schultz, the president of Best Buy's, another time. I've been in Best Buy's since '91 when they had only 100 employees. They now have 156,000 employees.
Wow.
And I was one of the first investors of the institutional category to get into that.
So you think that's a great
Yeah, it's fascinating.
stock?
And the clients are fascinating. We have wonderful clients that really, from movie stars and movie producers to Beverly Hills lawyers and big corporate executives like the retired chairman of the Standard Oil Company and President Reagan's top political advisor was a client of ours for 20 years. And fascinating people.
So you have some of the same clients that started with you then?
I have some of the clients that started right. We just lost one that started in October 1970. She was only here for about 38 years,
Wow.
but she passed on.
Okay.
A lot of our clients have been with me since 1972, 1974. In
Wow.
1 or 2 cases, we're in the 3rd generation now.
Wow.
See, they think I'm never going to leave the business. See, I'm not going to get older, and I'm always going to be there. They never ask how long I'm going to be here.
Well,
Just assume I'll be here for the next 2 generations.
well, you've done well for them, so they're hoping, that.
Our clients have done very well over the years. We have
Yeah.
a very, very good record of results.
Well, it's great. Do you believe in giving a certain percentage of your income to church, tithing? Is that important?
I don't give 10% to the church, but I give a lot of money to various charities. Church probably has more money than I'll ever, or anybody, even the government will ever have, for that matter. But there's a lot of good charities, from starving people in Africa to St. Jude's Medical Center, Memphis, for
Mhm.
example. So I do a lot of charitable giving.
Okay. Okay. So talk about your favorite all-time movies and actors. You don't get to watch. You said you don't sit down for 2 hours at a time and watch a movie, but you must have a few that you've watched that you enjoyed.
What I'm going back and watching now is one of our clients starred in that, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. It's a pretty funny film. But there are a lot of good, I like comedies and uplifting
Mhm.
shows.
Okay.
I don't care for the crime dramas and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Kind of boring. I don't watch travel films. I don't watch many sports.
So Bob Hope.
Bob Hope's probably the greatest comedian I've ever known in my lifetime, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's great.
Okay. Is there a book that you think everyone should read?
Other than the Bible, which I have never read thoroughly, and I should have. There are a lot of good books on the stock market and investment business. I think the best one was the first book ever written by a market technician by the name of Gerald Loeb, who's a partner of B.F. Hutton Company, called The Battle for Investment Survival. That
Okay.
book explains totally our investment policies.
Really?
They are right.
The Battle for Investment Survival.
Battle for Investment Survival was written in the
Okay.
1930s, and it's just as
You think
important
it's
today as it
applicable
was
today?
then.
Oh, okay.
Pardon? Yeah,
You think it's
because
still?
human nature is fairly predictable, and human nature doesn't change that much.
That's true. That's true. Well,
I required some of my clients to read that book in order to have an account with us.
oh really?
Right.
Well, and E.F. Hutton has changed hands many times over, haven't they?
Well, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Shearson Lehman.
you start
and
to
then-
name them: McDowell, Dempsey, Tegler, Goodbody since 1897, Shearson Lehman, you name it, Beige. You know, Dean Witter had went broke the first time they started the company. It was Charlie Blythe and Dean Witter. I knew Dean Witter personally.
Oh, okay.
Of course, I used to go to Phelps Witter's house in San Marino for cocktails, my wife and I.
Oh,
We'd
okay.
have to have parties up there. He was a cousin to Dean, who founded the Southern Division himself and his secretary. And when I was in the firm, they had 200 salesmen in Southern California. The Dean Witter people were wonderful, honest people. I didn't realize at the time, but he's originally from Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, you
We-
said. Oh, go ahead. Please.
One time I flew into, we were managing the largest hospital retirement trust in Detroit, and they couldn't wait for me to arrive. I wanted to see what this hayseed from Wisconsin looked like.
Hayseed.
This hayseed from Wisconsin. How could this guy have any brains coming out of Wausau, Wisconsin?
Well, you said earlier there's a lot of things you want your grandchildren to know. So have you thought of any more things in general or specifically that you want them to know?
I really think they should plan their life around the things that are most important to them.
Okay.
Not just live from day to day, whatever happens, happens. They should make it happen according to what they want to accomplish in life, what they want out of life.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. We're just about out of specific questions we've prepared. What other things would you like to say today? As Angel gets into the picture here.
I think one of the things about my life that might or might not be interesting, maybe boring to them, I don't know, but can you imagine we're sitting in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, going to University of Wisconsin, which was very expensive, freezing my toes at the bus stop because there was no place to park when you got your car to school, and very, very difficult thing to do, trying to get through my first year of college. So I made the decision to go down to Milwaukee Public Library and study what to do with my future, and my wife with it. And I made a determination, and we wanted to go someplace warm, someplace where the tuition would be fairly low, and someplace where we'd have great opportunity for future. So the decision was made to move back to California, where we had spent a year together in California in the Marine Corps, and specifically to go to Long Beach, California, a town I'd never been to in my life, So